Hi, everybody, and thank you for coming to Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 8, Striking a Balance. Thank you all for stopping by. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate it, and I want to thank you in advance. Also, find me on Fanbase, the new app that is out there that's like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all in one. I'm on Fanbase on under the same name. Okay, so let's get started. I mean, this was I like this episode. This is the type of episode where you get to see more of the couples in their habitat, and hopefully, you just hope for the best for them, like Woody and Amani. And congratulations to Woody and Amani for expecting their first child this June. So congratulations to them. That's what we want to see, the outcomes of these couples. I want the producers to really focus on finding real love like that, because that is what we are here for, and that's what we celebrate. So let's get started with the first couple. The first couple is Jasmina and Michael. Oh, in this episode, they're going to be talking to friends and family, their friends and family, their spouses' friends and family, and have a housewarming. So Michael talks to his sister, I think her name is Claire, and about what has transpired so far in his marriage. And Michael, in talking to his sister, it sounds like the way she's sounding is she's kind of taking um, the side of Jasmina. She thinks that she's protecting her space, herself and her space. Um, and it just seems like she's kind of seeing what transpired from uh, what's her name? Jasmina's point of view. So it seems like she has her back. I don't know. Maybe she knows something about her brother that we don't. She always says he's nice, but in him talking to her, it seems like she had his wife's back. Now Jasmina meets with her friend of 4 years. Jasmina is an early child educator, I think. Just a nice way of saying, I think she's just like a preschool teacher or something like that. Her friend told her that, you can't admit when you're wrong, and that she's very stubborn. They're saying that after talking to Pastor Cal, that they're resetting the relationship, starting back um, at the start line. And she has said more than once that she thinks things are better. So they seem like they're getting along. They had a housewarming, a taco party, and they played a game, and Jasmina and Mike were very competitive, and Michael lost, and then he said it was just a game. But I think their playfulness was cute. I think they could make it. You got to really work on yourself, and I think they can make it a decent relationship. I really hope that for them. It seems a little bit better than at the start. I really liked them, and then they had their hiccup, a little bump in the road, and then I was just seeing mainly Jasmina differently, Michael too, but she's now coming back around. I hope they find their footing, and they can get along a little bit better. So let's go into the next couple, which was Katina and Elijah. Elijah Dickerson, he has his friend Jeff. He talks about Katina to his friend Jeff. He tells Jeff that Katina has a wild side. Maybe she does. I still haven't really seen that. And that she's unable to go grocery shopping. She went to the store for 2 hours and came back with just bread and water. uh, what were you doing out there? Anyway, Katina had her friend come over who was at the wedding, and who also spoke to Elijah the day after the wedding and the friends and family meal, dinner, breakfast, whatever it was. And Katina's friend said she did not like the dancing that Olajuwon did at their wedding. It was bumping and grinding on his new wife he never met, and they showed a flashback of her mother looking like Aretha Franklin standing over there in disapproving of what she's seeing. But Katina said she liked it. Um, Katina's friend said that Olajuwon talked too much. He was too talkative. He didn't let anybody else talk, and she thought maybe he was nervous, or maybe he didn't want to be asked additional questions. I don't even think that's it. I think he's just too talkative. Now, one thing that came up that bothered Katina's friend that Olajuwon said at their get together, Olajuwon admitted that Katina, his wife, is the first black woman he's ever dated. Now, the weird thing is, Olajuwon has been out in those streets. He's been dating. His dating history is very long, very extensive, very out there, even dating a mother and daughter, not at the same time apparently, but dating them both. And he's never come across dating a black woman in his whole entire life. And what I find, I don't know if there's a correlation, but they haven't consummated this marriage. And he's out there oversexed. Everybody can't believe it's him holding up the consummating of this marriage. What is the problem here? Is it something to do with her being black? What? Now that's what I'm thinking, because I didn't know this bit of information about him until now. And you're sex addict, kind of, sort of, somewhat, and you don't want to have sex with her? And she's strikingly beautiful? I don't know. I don't know. That's just interesting. Anyway, they had their housewarming. In their housewarming, Olajuwon buys a bucket of chicken. He says the guys like to eat a lot, but ended up just being him and Jeff, the only guys there, and Katina's two friends, in which she shared with them again that they still haven't had sex. So I don't know. That's just really interesting. I am very interested to see how they go down this path in this experiment when they finally have consummated this marriage, and if he's going to elaborate why he hasn't. I'm very, may call it nosy, but I want to know that answer. He did show off his new haircut. Katina, I guess, told him that she wants a Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, it looks nice and neat. It's so kind of weird. I kind of like the other way he looked. I don't know. I think maybe because his hair, he looked like he just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I usually like a fresh cut guy, but him, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't fit his personality or something. Okay. The next couple is Noy and Steve. Noy and Steve. Looks like Noy's working from home. She's a talent acquisition coordinator. And Steve doesn't look like he's working at all. So I don't know how she feels about that. Now, he's not working, he says, to develop some relationships, even with Noy. I mean, but somebody has to work. I don't know. It's gonna rub people the wrong way. But apparently he mentions he has savings. Of course, we don't know how much he has in his savings. He says he's always able to take care of himself, and his responsibilities. So I guess he has his bills paid. But that makes Noy nervous. Of course, it would make anybody nervous that he doesn't really have any real action plans. So I think that's kind of what she's kind of thinking about. They do have their housewarming get together, and they invite their family and friends, and I guess they make food from each other's culture to share with their friends and family. That was really, nice. And in fact, it's not even out of the ordinary for them to do that. Now, what was interesting with them, I didn't think these couples much gave out gifts before their wedding, but apparently they did. At least Noy and Steve did, and they gave each other the same gift pretty much, which was a journal, a scrapbook journal. So they were thinking alike in that area. Um, Noy talked to Steve's friends, and she just wondered how Steve is going to show up for her in the marriage. I think him not working is bothering her, is creeping in her head, and I think it's something that is, if not dealt with, maybe if they can have a plan together. If she can't see a plan, doesn't know a plan, and everything is unknown, and he's walking in this house, not working while she's sitting there working, I don't know, that she might start to resent him. Even still, they get something happened. I don't quite understand it. They had, from the way Steve tells it, Noy offered to cook him dinner, and they were going to make two different kinds of noodles, and I guess she was overcooking the noodles, and he said something about it, and this looked like she got mad and left and spent the night at her place until the next day, and came back and talked about, well, he seemed so much more the adult in dealing with her. She seemed like a child, um, coming off punishment and discussing what she had done. That's how she acted, the way she walked into the room. Um, and apparently, while she was away, she put up a negative social media post about their relationship to talk about say no often. And Steve found out about it, confronted her, told her this is not a healthy way to communicate. I totally agree. Because I don't even know that he knew why she was mad. But you leave mad, he doesn't know why, and you go off and make this post talking about your relationship like that, where he mentioned, and he's right, his friends and family are going to see that. And what is he supposed to say about this? Was she not thinking? And why were you acting so immature? You got your feelings hurt, and you go low like that. And she did say that, um, she probably should not have done that. And he said, probably not, definitely not. Do you not know? She has to know. She has to know that union should be private, and it shouldn't be posted out there like that, out in the world. She needs to learn to communicate in a healthier way when she wants to get something off her chest. If she can't, it's their relationship is not going to work, he said, if they're not able to talk. And he's right. He may not seem like he has a 9 to 5. He might have money in the bank. We don't know how secure this guy is, but he does, I think, effectively communicate properly to Noy. And Noy needs to be a little bit more mature about how she communicates back to her husband. Okay, the next couple. Let's move on to Lindsay and Mark. Mark, we find out, is a regional sales director. He talks to his friend about Lindsay. Lindsay makes Mark uncomfortable. He's not head over heels for her because the way she acts, his relationship can't grow. He's turned off by her behavior. Um, and if he wasn't married to her, he probably would have ended the relationship because it's just not what he wants to see in his life. Mark, when they had their housewarming party, Mark got to talk to Lindsay's friends, and he basically wanted to know, how do you control her when she acts like this? And if you read in between the lines, he's basically saying, how are you still friends with her? She is way too much. She's too much. And I mean, I don't even know how did you pay these people? I don't understand how her friends seem docile. They didn't seem out there and over the top like her. Lindsay, she's, I see the sweetness in her, but oh man, this poor guy, he's having a time with her. More on them later. So the last couple is Chris and Alyssa. I don't even know why. Just put them and us out of our misery. We don't need to see them anymore. Poor Chris. He had to tell his mother that that they are getting a divorce. He told his mother the truth all about who Lindsay was. His mother deciphered that she just wanted her 15 minutes of fame. He said he's pissed off. I mean, you wasted this man's time, embarrassed him on national TV, and he never really spent any time with you to be treated so poorly. And Chris's mother knows that Alyssa just wanted to look good, didn't want to look bad on TV. Totally. Everybody sees right through you, Alyssa. Right through you. Now, Alyssa spoke with her friend, Caitlin, about her marriage, and she said she admitted at first glance he was not her type. Now, Caitlin was I think she was fed questions by the producers, and one of the questions she asked, Lindsay's answer was something about how they didn't try, or did they both try, and Lindsay, did I say Lindsay? Alyssa said that Chris didn't put forth effort in this relationship. He was the only one who did. She again lied to her friend. You know, she's so dumb. This show is a TV show. Whatever is recorded will be played back. They will show you all the clips. They will show you how things unfolded. And it shows that you made no effort. And your friends are going to see this. I don't know if your friends are going to judge you differently afterwards, how many friends you're going to have. Somebody's going to have to see you differently. It's Now, Alyssa, she had a little it's a confessional, and she's talking to the camera, and they asked her what she's going to do now, and she says she's going to move to Texas. I mean, that's where you're going to find your cowboy if you want one. But she's going to do that after she talks to her psychic. That sums up where her head is at, and it's not screwed on tight. Alyssa. Alyssa. Just a joke. Now, the whole group, all five couples, including Chris and Alyssa, they go bowling as a group. We learned in their group meeting that Mark never had a taco, and they showed him eating a taco for the first time. Mark looks like an eater. I just can't believe he's never had a taco. He's 38 years old, 30-something years old? I don't know. Interesting. Lindsay was kind of off-putting with the group. They were talking about different things, keeping the toilet seat up or not, and I even heard Noy have a negative reply to that comment. I guess Elijah one keeps it down. Steve may not always. Sounds like maybe Noy is still pissed off. And Lindsay's talking about poop spray, and we're like, everybody it quiet the room. She needs to read the room. In fact, if you can't, just remove yourself from the room. In group settings, it's just too much. She said to the group that there can't be real intimacy in a relationship until they had real conflict. And when she said that, Katina rolled her eyes. Lindsay called her on it and said, why are you rolling your eyes, Katina? Katina jumped back and says, don't talk to me on camera. You know not to talk to me on camera. Oh my God. How she she won't let anything slide. Anything. That girl rubs her the wrong way, and she does not hold her tongue at all. Um, Mark and Lindsay, they talk off to the side, and Mark's upset, which wants to know why she said something to Katina. If you know there's bad blood, don't instigate any further. Don't say anything. And that embarrassed him. He doesn't want to be embarrassed like this anymore. He's not used to that. That's not how he was raised. And most people aren't. And you could just shut your mouth, Lindsay, and that will resolve most of the issues. And so when he confronted her, he walked away from her after he said what he had to say. And Lindsay went low with her response. She's all, call your mom to see how you're going to get home tonight. And Mark's like, I can't. He says he just cannot fall in love with that. He can't catch feelings. He was talking to Chris, who had to announce to the group that him and his wife are getting a divorce. And Chris sat with him and talked to him off to the side. And Lindsay went into the bathroom, and one of the producers, Lauren, went in after her, and she wasn't going to come out. She started talking real bad and nasty about Mark, talking about he makes $60,000 a year selling gym membership. I was like, he said that he's a loser and that she hates her husband. That she did a lot for him. She is a team. She's the one that put on a hazmat suit and went into his infested apartment and put it in her apartment, his belongings. She can just go to South Boston and live a happy life. Then he's making miserly, no money. How are you screaming this man's yearly salary out to everybody? She is so, you know what? I would have to end it right there. We see what kind of person you are, and that is just going too below the belt. You don't know when to stop. You are out of control. He should not forgive you for this stuff because you keep doing it. Oh my God. She's awful. Just awful. There's no reason none of that should have been said, especially in that setting. And he overheard, I don't exactly know how much he overheard, but him and Chris overheard her. And she was talking about him. So we're going to, then they cut it off at the episode ended there. So we're going to have to see, hopefully maybe on the after party, we'll hear more about what was said and why it was said, but it didn't need to be said. Lindsay, I think you're going to do some things that are going to be unforgivable at some point, and maybe you're not worth the risk to be in a marriage with. Okay, with that said, that's it for this episode. So I'll be back next week for more exciting relationship drama with Married at First Sight. So again, I'd like to ask if you would like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. And again, you can find me on Fanbase, the new app that is out there, under the same name, Living to Do. And with that, I gotta go because I got living to do. Thank you. Bye.